Howdy folks, Trailblazer Tim here. Today we are going to be reviewing a 2018 Russian Kgb Mre. Wish me luck.
Oh my goodness. I swear the things that I get myself into.
Enough pissing around. Let's get to that damn review.
Okay, so we're back. Let's get back to the start of the show and stop looking at my ugly mug. This is the Russian 2018 Kgb Mre, and what we're going to do is I've watched some people with videos and stuff that have opened up these bags and stuff, and the first thing I see them do is take a knife and they go ahead and they cut along where this handle is. But after investigating this thing, I've had it for about 3-4 days. I think I'm going to cut it open on this end, the butt end, because down here in these areas, on these rails, on both sides of that flap, look to be what could possibly be a zip lock. So we're going to do it true to form, and knowing I have nothing at all knowledge when it comes to Russian, but I do know how to study little bags and MREs and stuff like that. If indeed that does have a zip lock perforation in there, I want to open that end of the bag down here, not where the handle is. Down here, I'm going to slice that open, and then we take the box and all the contents out. And if I open up a meal and I'm out in the field and I can't finish it all, I can stuff it back inside of this bag, zip lock it closed, and it'll be fresh for me the very next day. Now this doesn't look by any means to be a 24-hour ration. It looks like it's upside down. I'm going to shake it around a little bit. Feels like the contents are in place. Seen some guys open some of these up, the 24-hour rations, and there's cracker crumbs, like one of the cracker containers opened up. Before I even open this, what I can tell you that I believe is in here, like I said, I'm not Russian, this is all blind fate that's happening here in front of us. There's going to be some crackers, there's probably going to be a cold drink, a hot drink, possibly another beverage, as well as some jams, some sort of pate, and a main meal in here, as well as the basic accessory kit and stuff like that. So what we're going to do next is we're going to open this up, we're going to lay it all down on the table, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is we're getting the heck into. Okay, here we go. It seems to be opening fine. Look at that. What do we have inside of the packet here? And we talked about that, having some crackers. First thing that I'm looking at is crackers. We have some Russian crackers. We got 1 pack. We've got 2 packs Russian crackers. All right, next thing that's on the very top here, this is what I really wanted to see in person. These are fuel tablets. If you look past the fuel tablets, I have a metal piece that's back there that is going to be my little stove. Now in some models, you'll end up getting an extra match that's sitting inside here, which doesn't look as though it came in there. I don't know what that is. It might be a striking flint or something. That's going to be the way that we're going to heat up our main. Okay, moving on. This is tea. I don't even have to look at it. I feel a tea bag that's inside of there. That's going to be tasty. I cannot wait to try that. This right here, Russians are known for having this. I'm not really sure. This feels more like it's going to be possibly a powdered milk drink. I don't know. It feels in pretty good form. It isn't hardened up or anything, so we can probably drink that cold. If it was packed up and it was past expiration, I would imagine you'd probably end up putting hot water in there and drinking it as a warm meal. Here, I have no idea what this is. It kind of feels a little bit squishy. There's something inside of there. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I do not have an answer for this one, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Let's skip on the big stuff and everything. Let's get over here. I've been told that these are the moist towelettes. They feel like them. One's for your face, one is for your body or whatever, to keep yourself, I guess, from stinking the camp out and all that good stuff. Next on the list, this right here, and I saw somebody else have one of these in one of their MREs, the Russian MREs. This, I believe, is a little spear. Okay? In cold weather, what will get you down into your little deals and open up your packet, your little fancy feasts. It's a little spear. It's almost like what are those little things? Those M32s, whatever, that you use to open cans up stuff. So yeah, that's what that is probably for. What we have here, I have no idea. It's some sort of a powder. It could be salt. I believe this is salt. I believe it's salt. We're gonna find out, okay? We got the famous, these are really good. I've been told that these are the really good spoons, the Russian spoons. They're not like the long white ones that end up breaking and stuff. These are pretty durable, so that's gonna be your eating utensil. All right, moving on from the other things, we'll get into all that stuff. We got what looks to be pepper. I believe this is a pepper packet right here. One thing I did notice in this pack and stuff, I don't really see any sugar and stuff. So we're going to start with our first deal. And you look at this, and I can't understand anything that's being said here. But I'm looking at the pictures and stuff, and it looks like it's some sort of a squash. It's a vegetable kind of pate. Alright, and I guess that's where the crackers come into play and all that stuff. Something to squeeze that on there. So we're going to try that out, and I know it probably looks like cat and dog food and everything, whatever. Now our main meal. Let's take a look at this. And the first thing I see is I see a cow. See that? See the cow on there? So this looks like it's some sort of possible beef potato meal. I don't know, but we're going to want to try those little fuel tablets that I showed you a couple minutes ago right here with a little stove, and we're going to try to heat up our main meal. And in the meantime, while that's going and doing its thing, if we can get this thing indeed lit, we're going to try to work on our drinks, beverages, and all that other good stuff. So stick around. Now, I've seen the reviews on these Russian MREs, and almost everybody that I see goes ahead and they feel like they're gonna puke because everything is in kind of like a puree pate form. But then I sat and I started to think about things. Oh, one thing that I did forget, they did throw me a complimentary napkin in there. Thanks a lot. I believe the reason why these are processed the way they were, and everything else that goes through there with crackers and everything else, and whatever that little deal. I think this might be an apple spread, some sort of a fruit spread, put on the crackers, and everything else, and the tea and all that good stuff, is because I believe, and I could be wrong, and you can correct me, and I've done no research whatsoever when it comes to Russian military food. Dietary physicians probably were involved in the making of these meals to try to produce a palate that was edible, but something that was well digested. Now, inside of this MRE pack, I have no of the classic TP toilet paper, so I believe this stuff was all pretty much processed in a way where it was eatable, cold or hot, but in the same sense, it was easy on the digestion and the digestion system in the young man that's out there in the field doing his deal and stuff like that, and all put together with the fact of, you know, being able to wash it down at the end of the day with a tea or a coffee or something like that that kind of passed everything through, everything absorbed, they got the nutrients, and they were able to pass their stool, so to speak. And you know, I'm just being real about things, okay? But there were some certain things that were missing out of this MRE that I would probably have recommended, and I've seen on other MREs when it comes to Russian MREs. It's like the vitamin gum that they give you, as well as maybe some toilet paper and a sweetener for your tea or your coffee and stuff like that. Those were not in here, and I got one single napkin. So this was kind of like the bare minimum when it comes to the MREs, but I'm not complaining. Let's dig in. And it's all gelatin. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our fuel packets right here with our little stove. We're going to open those up, and we're going to get a little fire going, and we're going to prep ourselves and try to get our main going. So let's go ahead and tear this thing open and see what we got. Now I'm out in my garage, and I'm going to set down a little cast iron pan. I know this retains heat and stuff like that, but it's just a protection layer so I don't put this little Russian stove on top of my table and heat it up or melt it or do whatever we got to do and stuff like that. You got little arrows on here saying which way to peel. I'm seeing a little bit of an overlay over here. So this is going to be a nice little challenge to try to open this up. Let's see if we can pull that end open. Looks like we got some luck going on here. Hold on. We want to get our stove out of here. Oh, yes. Okay. Let's keep it all face down, just like that. All right. That right there is our stove. It's already bent. It looks like our striker flint that's happening right there, as well as our fuel tablets. Let's take that striker flint, put it over to the side, peel our little stove that's glued on here. There goes our fuel tablets. Let's then drop them down in there, get them out of the way. We're going to do this the way that we feel. All right, so I've been told that these little sharp edges right here, these four, are the ones that are supposed to point up. So what we're going to do is I'm going to point them up, kind of like this, so we make ourselves kind of a little cradle, just like that. And then we're going to take and we're going to fold down our bottom four, just like this, nice and easy. Remember, it's a no-brainer. We're a soldier. We're going to set it down inside of the cast iron pan like that. We're going to take a fuel tablet. We're going to take our other two out right now so they don't combust. Set them down. And we're going to try to light. Well, wait a minute. I didn't even get the matches with this kit, so I have no other choice than to try to light this with a lighter. Let's go ahead and give it a try. I got a fan going on here in the garage because it's hot. I live in Florida. It was 90 degrees today. Up, there we go. Look at that. Look at that. A nice little combustion. The fire has started. We're going to let that mature just a couple minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our main on. So unlike the US MRE that has the FRE or whatever that is, the fuel retaining bag that you put it in there, add some water and it ignites and stuff like that, we're working with a fuel tap. And we don't have a lot of time, so we're going to take what I think is kasha. This looks like kasha. But when I've been told this is one of the most sought after meals, Russian. If it indeed is, you're looking at a breakfast porridge that is beef and barley and hash. And I swear to God, this is going to be so tasty. My mouth is watering just looking at it. Let's try to get this thing open. Alright, this is like a can of Fancy Feast. It's nice and easy. We don't want to make a huge, giant mess over things. This is kasha. Oh my goodness. I heard some people say, no, it's rice that's in there. No, that's barley. That's barley and beef and hash that's inside of there. This is one of the most sought after Russian breakfast foods. It's like a porridge. And we're going to put that on the fire. We're going to cover this back up. We already know what it is. I am so excited. This is going to be the highlight of my meal. Oh my goodness. All right, there we go. Right on top of the little stove. Just like that, nice and steady. We don't want no fall over. We're going to move this up and out of the way so we can test out some other stuff. And that thing wants to fall over. There we go. So the first thing we're going to try to do while my main is cooking on the little dry fuel deal and stuff like that is we're going to check out this little mystery packet right here. I don't know, it feels like a jam or a jelly or a spread or something like that. It could be like an applesauce. I'm not really sure. I don't speak Russian, kashna. I don't do that. So I'm going to kind of shake this, get everything down to the bottom. We're going to take our trusty little knife. We're going to open this thing up. Just like that. We'll kind of give it a sniff. It's kind of suspect. I don't know. And it's kind of got a amberish color to it. You see that? Let's go ahead and try it on a cracker. Seems to be a little bit in there. I think this is kind of like an apple jam. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. See that? Not too bad. Let me try it. Those crackers are seem to be a little bit crispier than what I would like them to be. It means they're starting to go stale. But that apple spread was actually not too bad. It's not really good. Everything's kind of got like a balanced, bland flavor to it. If I've got to enjoy 16 of these crackers, I'm going to probably have a problem. I don't have the best of teeth, and they were really, really tough to bite into. Alright, so I'm going to prepare my canteen cup, which I use regularly. As you can see, let's move things kind of out of the way so you can see that. And we're going to take our tea. Not sure what kind of tea it is, a green tea, black tea, whatever. I'm not even going to try to open it. We're going to take our knife, open it up, get that little baby out of there. Doesn't need to me that it's Russian tea. It's from a Russian MRE, but it could be from China or wherever. But we're going to call it a Russian tea. There it is. Little tea bag. And look, I cut the damn tab off there. So I'm going to be fishing this thing out after it's all said and done. Into the canteen cup. There it goes. Fortunately, I wasn't graced with any sort of ISO drink or cold beverage or anything like that. Pretty basic, exactly everything here. Behind the camera I have a pocket rocket stove with my Stanley Adventure series that's heating up water so we can try that tea. In the meantime, we're going to open up this, I don't know what that is, if it's a squash, an eggplant, whatever. It's a vegetable pate. It's probably not really that good. It's suggested to probably eat this stuff room temperature or chilled and stuff like that, but because I'm very suspect and I really don't want to end up yakking, we'll probably take this thing and put it on a flame for a few minutes to probably bring it to a consistency, because I'm afraid of opening that thing up. Alright, let's get our little mess tin ready to go and stuff like that. First thing we're going to do, we're going to grab some crackers. Okay, let's open these guys up. And it's probably not going to be that easy, so I got my old trusty old timer. We're just going to slice those babies open. And the Russians love the crackers. Look at, they are very plentiful. I got 2 of these packets with 8 crackers in each one of these packets. We're going to put them over here in the accessory bin, just like this, because I have reason to believe that we're going to be utilizing these babies to the most of our ability. Alright, let's get our little mess tin ready to go and stuff like that. First thing we're going to do, we're going to grab some crackers. Okay, now let's open these guys up. And it's probably not going to be that easy, so I got my old trusty old timer. We're just going to slice those babies open. And the Russians love the crackers. Look at, they are very plentiful. I got 2 of these packets with 8 crackers in each one of these packets. We're going to put them over here in the accessory bin, just like this, because I have reason to believe that we're going to be utilizing these babies to the most of our ability. So I made an attempt at heating up this vegetable pate. It's not really working out that way, so we're going to probably eat it cold. See this? Kind of looks like a pumpkin pie. Some texture in there. It's a puree. I think that's going to happen with the crackers. We still have that apple jam. I'm going to try some more of that. Well, let's try a little bit of this. We're going to bring our spoon out on top of cracker. This is like the vegetable snack. It's really hard to tell exactly how it's going to taste. I'm going to try it. Wow. That cracker is really, I think it's a little bit stale. But, believe it or not, as much as I was really dreading trying this type of meal, it's got a really robust flavor. It's not over the top, there's not a lot of seasonings, there's not a lot of sweeteners. It pretty much is what it is. Give it a shot. I'm gonna dip it back in there. Try it. Now those crackers are a little bit past their due date. That stuff's pretty darn good. I like it. On to the mains, let's put some kasha on there. Oh, look at that. Look at that meat. Almost looks like pot roast. See that? With some hash and some barley. Instead of potatoes, that's barley. Alright, let's put some on there. Now we're going to decipher what tastes good. We may end up putting that stuff right there, which is really good, on here, because those crackers that I have, they're kind of stale and they're really snappy and they're hard to chew. Who knows, might end up finding some hot sauce. So against all odds and all my hopes, the crackers aren't getting any better. They do have a staleness where they're hard to crunch into. I don't have the best teeth and stuff like that, but still I can eat crackers. I eat crackers every single day. These things are hard to bite into, and that's kind of a shame because I like a little bit of snap and stuff going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our vegetable little snack. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put it on top of here. It kind of looks like pumpkin or a squash or some kind of things like that. And then we're going to try our salt. Oh, I don't think we need any salt. We'll put some pepper on there and see if it improves the taste at all. You know, these crackers at this point are pretty much useless. Tried a couple of them. I had another whole pack that I haven't even opened. But they're really hard to chew on. And I'm disappointed. This is my negative on this review, because I'm sure when they were fresh, they were absolutely delicious and they just crisp in your mouth. But right now, they've gotten to the point where if you have teeth that are failing or you don't have really good teeth, these are going to hurt eating them. So you know what? I'm going to sink the ship. I'm going to take this absolutely my favorite new meal, Russian kasha. It's a barley porridge with beef. It's a breakfast food. It's almost like corned beef hash, but it's got barley in it. And we're going to sell the farm on it, put everything in there, and all in on this spread. This has become my new favorite meal. It's not exactly that hot, but I don't care. The flavor does the rest of it. And what this is doing is giving me a great meal that I can sleep on. I can add carbs and energy and all that other good stuff. And it's just delicious. I don't know if exactly that's what they were planning on this meal to be, but that's what I found. If myself was in the situation out in Siberia or out in the tundra of Russia, and this is what they gave me, this is what and how I want to eat my meal. Of course, nothing that is served MRE is I've ever found. It's got a lot of sodium to it, but I do like the pepper. And we're going to kind of just flip that on there and all that other good stuff. But I got a little secret that I'm going to cheat on, and I'll be right back. Now, I don't want to kill the vibe on this and stuff. We're trying to stay as true and to form as possible when it comes to be actually eating an MRE like we're out in the field. Well, we're not out in the field. This kind of a meal was so delicious, and the only thing that comes to my mind when I eat something like this is either cheese or a little bit of hot sauce. I got a little bit of Texas Pete. So what we're going to do is we're just going to throw just a little bit. I don't want to ruin the flavor of that authentic meal, and put it on top of the kasha, just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to enjoy. This is unbelievable food. This is so good. Now, I don't know how many of you guys out there have actually enjoyed the deliciousness of like barley soup or stuff like that. Barley is a natural grain, and it's so hearty, and if flavored right and cooked right, is absolutely every good as a potato. Barley is cheaper than a potato, and of course feeding the masses and the Russian troops and all that stuff, this is what they put in a lot of their meals. Some people seem to think that these MREs come with a kasha, with rice and stuff. That's not the case here. This is barley. I'm eating barley and beef with a vegetable spread, as well as some hot sauce. Not a lot, just enough to add a little flavor. I added that packet of pepper and all that good stuff. This thing right here, I can easily understand why I've heard other people say that they're so excited when they get this meal and when they're MREs, because it is absolutely hands down probably one of the nicest, tastiest, heartiest meals that you can get in any MRE anywhere around the world. Russian kasha. I was speechless. If you like corned beef hash, oh my goodness. You're going to get filled up, and everybody's going to be happy. Alright, so the evening's wearing on, as so is our MRE. Last on the list that we're going to be doing right here is taking this little tea bag out, which I'm very excited about this. We're going to kind of take it to the side. And we have our powdered milk drink. Alright, I don't know if it's meant to drink as warm milk. You know, some of the Europeans and Russian countries, they like that because it's cold all the time and it's warm milk. Tastes good. But in this case, they gave me no sweetener, no sugar, nothing. I could drink it just like that. But I'm trying to maybe get a little bit of creaminess out of here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up. We're not going to drink it as a warm milk. We're going to drink it as a creamed tea. I'm not going to put all this in here. Actually, to tell you the truth, this isn't cream. It's sugar. So I need to be mindful and put in what I think needs to go in there. So we're having tea with some sugar. That's a fat sugar packet. Oh my goodness. I could drink 4 teas with that sugar. We have no cream, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix this up in our canteen cup. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to try this Russian tea to try to act as a laxative to pass all that goodness through us. That's really good. That's a nice compliment at the end of the meal. Unfortunately, they didn't leave me any kind of chewing gum or anything like that to take all that flavor and all that stuff out and give me a minty, fresh taste in my mouth and not stink the camp out. Well, there you guys have it. That's my review of the 2018 Russian KGB Mre. Overall, out of 1 to 10, I'm going to give that a 7. And the only reason why is because that kasha and that tea brought it up. Other than that, I would have given it probably about a 3. I was lacking any kind of gum, vitamins, all that other good stuff that goes in there, the toilet paper. But the things that saved the day was like the little stove, which is now collapsed, see that? As well as the dry fuel alcohol taps. Those came in real handy, all right? Not to mention the fact that the kasha is a meal, if you've never tried it, look the recipe up, find a way to eat some of that because it's absolutely divine. And I would totally buy this same MRE again if I knew I was getting kasha. But unfortunately, I didn't know what was coming in the package. Everything's in Russian. When you order it, it doesn't tell you, hey, it's got this, it's got that. But it was lacking some of the good things such as the toilet paper, the chewable vitamin, the water purifying tablets, all that other stuff that you would expect in an MRE, the toilet paper, none of that stuff was there. It was one napkin, so I kind of got cut a little bit short, and the crackers, which were a huge essential to scooping my meal up, were stale, and they were hard to chew into, and I can only get through about 2 or 3 of them. Outside of that, I'm going to actually drop my review down from a 7 down to a 4.5. The only thing that saved the day was the tea, the heating stove with the fuel tablets, as well as the kasha. That was half the meal. But the rest of the meal really didn't complement everything that I was expecting. Of course, I'm this lonely soldier out in the tundra of Russia. You take what you can. Thanks so much for hanging out and watch me blab and enjoy this Russian MRE. Till next time, I'll see you all on the very next adventure. Take care.